My child, I need only 1 minute of your time. Please do not ignore this moment. I am not asking for much, and I am not asking without reason. I have been waiting for you to answer me, not with perfection, not with long prayers, but with attention. Tonight is not ordinary. Something has been building, something has been pressing on your heart, and what I must tell you will change everything if you listen. Not tomorrow, not later. Now. My child, do not scroll past this. I know how quickly your mind moves. I know how easily you tell yourself you will come back when things are quieter, when you feel more ready, when you have more strength. But hear me clearly, silence is no longer safe for your heart. You have reached a point where continuing without listening will cost you more than pausing ever could. I am speaking now because this moment cannot be delayed any longer. I know you are tired. I know you are full of thoughts, responsibilities, and quiet worries you do not share with anyone. I know you may feel stretched thin, unsure how much more you can carry. That is exactly why I'm asking for 1 minute. Not to burden you, but to meet you. Not to demand effort, but to give direction. Not to overwhelm you, but to steady you. This minute is not about time. It is about alignment. My beloved child, I am not asking for hours. I am asking for 1 minute, because what I am about to place into your spirit tonight is an answer you have been crying for without words. You have asked me questions in the quiet. You have looked for signs. You have wondered if I was still listening, still near, still involved. You may not have said it out loud, but your heart has been speaking. I have heard it all. I have waited patiently, not because I was distant, but because I was careful. I did not want to speak before your heart was ready to hear without fear. I did not want to rush you into something before you could receive it with peace. But now, the waiting has done its work. The questions you carry have ripened. The weariness you feel has softened you. And this moment has arrived not by accident, but by design. You may feel a tension inside you right now, a pull to keep listening and a pull to move on. The tension is not confusion. It is recognition. Your spirit knows this is for you, even if your mind tries to resist. The enemy would prefer you stay busy, stay distracted, stay numb. He does not need to fight you directly if he can keep you from listening deeply. That is why this moment matters so much. My child, I am not speaking to you because you have failed. I am speaking to you because you matter. I am not calling you out of anger. I am calling you out of love. There are things ahead of you that require clarity, and clarity begins with listening. There are decisions forming in your life that will shape your peace, and peace begins with alignment. I do not want you to walk forward carrying confusion when I am ready to give you direction. You may think 1 minute cannot make a difference, but 1 minute of listening can change a lifetime of wandering. 1 minute of attention can open a door you have been knocking on for months. 1 minute of stillness can quiet fears that have been shouting for too long. Do not underestimate what I can do in the space you are willing to give me. I see how you have been trying to hold everything together. I see how you keep going even when you feel unsure. I see how you tell yourself you are fine when something inside you knows you are not. You have been strong, but strength without rest becomes heavy. Faith without reassurance becomes fragile. That is why I am asking you to stay, just for this moment. Type Jesus. You are my steady hand if he's been your shelter. My beloved child, this is not about earning anything from me. You do not need to prove your devotion. You do not need to perform or impress. You only need to be present, I already know your heart. I already know your fears. I already know your questions. What I want now is to remind you that you are not alone in any of it. The night is different because something has shifted. The season you have been in is reaching its end, and the next one cannot begin in confusion. I am preparing you to move forward with peace instead of panic, with trust instead of doubt. But preparation begins here, in this moment of listening, before any outward change takes place. You may have felt like I was quiet. You may have wondered if you were waiting too long. You may have questioned whether you heard me correctly in the past. I am here now to reassure you. I have not changed my mind about you. I have not forgotten your prayers. I have not lost track of your life. I have been guiding you even when you could not see the path clearly. Please stay with me. Do not rush away from this. Let your breath slow. Let your thoughts settle. You do not need to have everything figured out to listen. You do not need to be calm to receive peace. You do not need to be confident to be guided. You only need to be willing. My child, this minute is a gift, not a demand. It is an invitation into clarity, not a warning of punishment. I am not here to frighten you with urgency, but to focus you with love. What I am about to speak into your life will not confuse you. It will steady you. It will not burden you. It will lift you. It will not rush you. It will line you. You have been asking for an answer. You have been longing for confirmation. You have been hoping for peace that lasts longer than a moment. That is why I am here now. That is why I am asking for this minute. Because your answer is not far away. It is not hidden from you. It is not reserved for someone else. It is here, waiting for you to listen. Stay with me, my beloved child. Give me this moment. What I must tell you will change everything, not because your life will suddenly become perfect, but because you will no longer walk forward unsure of my presence or my guidance. I am here. I am speaking, and I want you to hear me. My beloved child, I am asking for only 1 minute because I see how full your life has become. I see how little space you have left inside yourself. I see how every day pulls at you from every side, how your mind is crowded with responsibilities, worries, plans, and questions that never seem to end. I am not unaware of your exhaustion. I am not blind to your distractions. I am not distant from your emotional overload. That is precisely why I am not demanding hours from you. I am asking for intentional attention, not prolonged effort. 1 surrendered minute is enough when it is given with honesty. You have been living in a constant state of giving. Giving your time, your energy, your thoughts, your strength. Even when your body slows down, your mind keeps running. Even when you try to rest, your heart keeps carrying what tomorrow might bring. You tell yourself you will pause later, that you will listen more deeply when things settle, but they rarely do. And I know this. I know how life presses in on you. That is why I do not ask for what you cannot give. I ask for what you already have but rarely protect. Your attention. This minute is not about duration. It is about direction. 1 minute turned toward me can do more than hours spent distracted. 1 minute of stillness can open doors that weeks of effort cannot. You have been trying to figure things out by thinking harder, moving faster, pushing through. But transformation does not begin with effort. It begins with surrender. And surrender does not require much time. It requires willingness. Please support our channel. Our work is dedicated to bringing happiness into your life and encouraging devotion to God. If you would like to support us, you can donate through Super Thanks. My child, you are tired because you have been carrying too much alone. You have been strong for so long that you forgot what it feels like to rest without guilt. You have learned how to function under pressure, but pressure was never meant to be your permanent home. I see how your heart has become guarded, not because you stopped caring, but because caring deeply while exhausted is painful. I am asking for 1 minute because I want to reach you before weariness convinces you that numbness is safer than hope. I am not asking for 1 minute because I am distant. I am asking because I am near. I am not requesting your time to test your devotion. I am inviting your attention to restore your peace. This request does not come from pressure. It comes from love. Pressure demands. Love invites. Pressure overwhelms. Love understands. I understand where you are. I understand what you are carrying. I understand how little margin you feel you have left. And I am meeting you right there. You may think 1 minute is too small to matter, but you forget who is asking. When your heart turns toward me, even briefly, the atmosphere shifts. When your thoughts quiet long enough to listen, your spirit begins to breathe again. You do not need to solve everything in this minute. You do not need to make decisions or promises. You only need to stop running and let me speak. My beloved child, there is power in a single moment when it is surrendered. I have changed lives in moments shorter than this. I have brought peace in the space of a breath. I have restored hope in the pause between tears. You do not need to prepare yourself for me. You do not need to gather strength. You do not need to clean yourself up emotionally. I am not waiting for you to be calm. I am waiting for you to be present. This minute is divinely timed. It is not random. It did not arrive because you were searching perfectly or listening well enough. It arrived because I know when your heart is ready to receive without resisting. I know when your strength has reached its limit. I know when words spoken earlier would have felt like pressure instead of comfort. I waited until this moment because this moment can hold what I want to give you. You have been living with a low hum of tension inside you. Not always loud, but always present. It shows up when things go quiet. It shows up when you are alone with your thoughts. It shows up when you ask yourself questions you avoid during the day. Attention is not a failure. It is a signal. It is your spirit telling you it needs alignment, not more effort. That is why I am asking for 1 minute. Because alignment begins when you stop trying to carry everything yourself. I am not asking you to change your life in this minute. I am not asking you to commit to anything overwhelming. I am not asking you to promise me more than you can give. I am asking you to let me meet you where you are. 1 minute of honest listening is enough to begin healing what has been strained. 1 minute of intentional attention is enough to remind your soul that it is not alone. You have been afraid that stopping will make things worse. Afraid that if you slow down, the weight you have been holding back will rush in. But my child, slowing down with me is not the same as stopping alone. I do not let the weight crush you. I help you carry it, and often, I lift it completely. You have been surviving by staying busy. I am inviting you to live by becoming present. This request comes from love because love sees what you cannot. Love sees the cost of continued exhaustion. Love sees the quiet ways you are fading inside while still showing up on the outside. Love does not wait until you break. Love intervenes gently before that happens. That is what I am doing now. I am not interrupting you to demand. I am interrupting you to care. You may feel unworthy of this attention. You may think you should be stronger, more faithful, more consistent. But I do not measure you the way you measure yourself. I see your heart. I see your intentions. I see how hard you try even when you are tired. I am not disappointed in you. I am concerned for you. And concern rooted in love always acts. This minute is sacred not because of its length, but because of its purpose. It is a doorway. It is a pause where truth can enter without being rushed out. It is a moment where I can remind you who you are and who you belong to. It is a moment where fear loosens its grip and peace begins to settle. You have been carrying questions you cannot answer and fears you do not voice. You have been holding them tightly, hoping time will solve them. But some things are not solved by time. They are healed by presence. And presence begins when you stop long enough to receive it. That is why 1 minute matters. I am not here to take more from you. I am here to give. I am not asking for your strength. I am offering mine. I am not asking for your certainty. I am offering clarity. I am not asking for your perfection. I am offering peace. And all of that can begin in 1 surrendered minute. So stay here with me. Let go of the rush just for this moment. Let your shoulders soften. Let your breath slow. You are safe. You are seen. You are loved. This minute is not small. It is the beginning of something gentle and true. And I am here with you, fully present, waiting not to pressure you, but to restore you. My beloved child, I have been waiting for you to answer me, and I want you to understand what that truly means. I am not speaking of a perfect reply or a confident declaration. I am not speaking of words spoken loudly or prayers formed carefully. I am speaking of your heart turning toward me, even slightly, even weakly, even with uncertainty. I have been waiting for that moment, and I have waited with patience, not frustration. There have been many times when I called to you softly, not with thunder, not with force, but with whispers meant to reach you gently. I spoke through quiet thoughts that came when you least expected them. I spoke through moments of stillness that felt uncomfortable because you were not used to slowing down. I spoke through questions that rose up inside you, asking you to look deeper, to pause, to listen. I nudged you in small ways, hoping you would notice, hoping you would stop and turn your attention toward me. You did not ignore me because you did not care. Your silence was never rejection. It was fear. It was confusion. It was tiredness so deep that even listening felt like too much. You were overwhelmed, carrying more than you should have been carrying. And when you are that tired, even love can feel distant. I know this. I have always known this. That is why I did not leave when you did not respond. I stayed. Right, Lord, my heart beats for you if He's your reason to live. There were moments when you felt a sudden urge to pray but dismissed it because you did not know what to say. Moments when you felt drawn to be still but told yourself you could not afford the time. Moments when you sensed my presence but doubted yourself and moved on. I was there in all of those moments. I did not turn away when you hesitated. I did not withdraw when you questioned. I understood that your silence was not stubbornness, but exhaustion. My child, I have watched you struggle with your own thoughts. I have seen how confusion made you doubt whether you were hearing me or imagining things. I have seen how fear made you hesitate, afraid of what listening might require of you. I have seen how tiredness dulled your sensitivity, making it hard to respond even when your heart wanted to. None of this pushed me away. It drew me closer. I waited because love waits. Love does not rush a weary heart. Love does not demand from someone who is already carrying too much. Love understands timing. I knew that if I spoke too loudly too soon, you would feel pressured instead of comforted. I knew that if I demanded an answer before you were ready, you would retreat instead of open up. So I waited, not passively but attentively. Heaven has been aware of you in every moment of that waiting. Your name has not been forgotten. Your life has not been overlooked. Your silence did not go unnoticed. Angels have watched as you carried questions you did not voice. They have seen the way you tried to be strong when you were tired. They have seen how you longed for clarity but did not know how to ask for it. Heaven has been waiting, not impatiently but expectantly, knowing that the moment you turned your heart toward me, everything could begin to shift. There were times when you thought you had missed your chance, that you waited too long, that you should have responded earlier. My child, hear me clearly now. You did not miss me. I do not operate on deadlines the way you fear I do. I am not easily offended by hesitation. I am not quick to withdraw because of silence. I'm faithful, and faithfulness waits without resentment. I have seen you wrestle with the fear of disappointing me. That fear made you pull back at times, thinking you needed to have everything figured out before you could come to me. But I never asked you for answers. I asked you for honesty. I never asked you for certainty. I asked you for presence. Your fear told you to stay quiet. My love has been telling you it is safe to respond. My longing for you has never been about control. It has been about connection. I do not call you because I need something from you. I call you because I desire relationship with you. I desire to walk with you, to guide you, to carry what is too heavy for you to hold alone. When you did not answer, I did not turn my face away. I leaned in closer, waiting for the moment you would feel safe enough to respond. You may not realize how many times I protected you during your silence. How many paths I held back. How many decisions I slowed down. How many moments I covered with grace because I knew your heart was tired. I did not abandon you to your confusion. I stayed with you inside it, quietly guarding you until you were ready to hear without fear. My child, heaven's waiting has never been empty. It has been filled with care. It has been filled with patience. It has been filled with hope. Not hope that you would perform better, but hope that you would eventually rest enough to listen. And now, you are here. Now, you are listening. That alone tells me that your heart has not hardened. It has been weary, but it has remained open. I want you to understand this deeply. Your silence did not push you out of my will. It did not erase my plans. It did not diminish my love. I have been waiting not because I was powerless to act, but because I wanted you involved in what I am doing. I wanted your heart aligned, not dragged forward by force. I wanted your response to come from trust, not pressure. There is joy in heaven right now, not because you have finally said the right words, but because you have chosen to listen. Because you have paused. Because you have turned your attention toward me. That is all I have ever wanted from you. Not perfection. Not constant awareness. Just a willing heart. My beloved child, I am not angry about the time it took. I am grateful that you are here now. I am not holding your silence against you. I am receiving your attention with tenderness. I am not disappointed that you waited. I am ready to speak now that you are listening. I have waited for you, not as a judge waiting to correct, but as a father waiting to embrace. I have waited with patience that does not expire. I have waited with love that does not weaken. And now that you are here, now that your heart is open, I am ready to continue with you. Heaven has been waiting, and heaven is ready to move with you, gently, faithfully, and without fear. My beloved child, I hear the quiet cry of your heart that no one else hears. I hear it because it rises from a place deeper than words, deeper than thought, deeper than what you allow yourself to show. Others see your strength, your composure, your ability to keep going, but I see what lies beneath that surface. I see the ache you carry when the noise fades. I see the questions that return when you lie down at night and the world finally grows still. I see the tears you wipe away quickly so no one notices. And I want you to know this with certainty. Not one of those cries has gone unheard. There are nights when your body is exhausted, yet your mind refuses to rest. You replay conversations, decisions, moments you wish you could redo. You wonder if you said too much or too little, if you waited too long or moved too soon. You lie awake asking questions you do not know how to answer, and sometimes you do not even know who to ask. In those moments, when you feel alone with your thoughts, I am there with you. I am closer than the silence that surrounds you. I am nearer than the breath you release when the weight feels too heavy. You have prayed prayers that never made it past your lips. You have formed sentences in your heart and then stopped, unsure how to finish them. You have wanted to ask me why, but feared what the answer might stir inside you. You have wanted to ask me when, but felt tired of waiting. You have wanted to ask me if, but were afraid to hope again. Those unfinished prayers did not disappear. They reached me whole, because I hear what the heart says even when the mouth stays silent. Loneliness has visited you in ways others do not understand. Not always because you were physically alone, but because you felt unseen even among people. You have been surrounded by voices and still felt isolated. You have smiled while feeling distant inside. You have listened to others speak about their lives while wondering if anyone would ever truly understand yours. My child, that loneliness did not mean you were forgotten. It meant your heart was longing for a depth that the world could not give. I know there were moments when you questioned your worth, when you wondered if your presence mattered, if your absence would even be noticed. Those thoughts wounded you quietly. They settled into your spirit and made you doubt yourself in ways you never spoke about. But hear me now, your value has never been measured by how many people see you or understand you. Your value was established the moment I formed you. You are known completely by me, and that knowing is filled with love. You have struggled internally in ways that felt too complicated to explain. Conflicting emotions pulled you in different directions. Hope rose, then fear followed. Faith grew, then doubt whispered. You tried to make sense of it all, but it left you feeling confused and tired. You wondered why it seemed so easy for others to be certain while you wrestled so deeply. My child, that struggle is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of sincerity. Hearts that care deeply often feel deeply. I saw you on the nights when tears came without warning. Tears you did not plan to cry. Tears that surprised you with their intensity. You told yourself you were fine, that you were just tired, but inside, something was breaking open. Those tears were not a failure. They were a release. They were your heart letting go of what it could no longer hold. and every tear was noticed. Every tear was gathered. None of them were wasted. You have carried unanswered prayers longer than you expected. At first, you prayed with hope and anticipation. Later, you prayed with persistence. And then there were times when you stopped praying altogether, not because you stopped believing, but because it hurt to keep asking. You wondered if silence meant no. You wondered if waiting meant rejection. You wondered if you were doing something wrong. My beloved child, unanswered does not mean ignored. Waiting does not mean unwanted. Silence does not mean absence. I have been with you in the internal struggle you hide so well. The struggle to stay hopeful when disappointment repeats itself. The struggle to trust when clarity feels far away. The struggle to believe that something good is still unfolding when you cannot see it yet. You have fought battles in your mind that no one applauded. You have endured moments that never made it into stories you share. But I have seen them all. And I am proud of your endurance, even when you did not feel strong. There were times when you felt ashamed of your pain, as if you should be past it by now. You told yourself you should be grateful, stronger, more faithful. You compared your heart to others and wondered why yours felt so heavy. But my child, pain is not erased by comparison. Healing is not rushed by shame. I do not look at your struggles with disappointment. I look at them with compassion. Your heart had been crying out for reassurance, not always for answers. You wanted to know you were not alone. You wanted to know you were still seen. You wanted to know that the story was not over. Even when you could not name those desires, they rose within you like a quiet plea. And I heard them. I heard them in the pauses between your thoughts. I heard them in the sighs you released without realizing why. I heard them in the longing that followed you through your days. You have wondered if anyone truly knows you, if anyone sees beyond what you show, if anyone understands the depth of what you feel. Hear me now. I know you completely. I know your fears and your hopes. I know your questions and your faith. I know what excites you and what scares you. There is nothing hidden from me and nothing about you that causes me to turn away. The nights of overthinking did not weaken you. They revealed your desire for meaning. The silent tears did not diminish you. They showed your capacity to feel deeply. The loneliness did not define you. It pointed you toward a connection only I can fully provide. You are not broken because you feel these things. You are human and you are loved. Every unspoken cry has reached me. Not one was lost in the noise of the world. Not one fell short because you could not find the right words. I do not require perfect prayers. I receive honest hearts. And your heart has been honest with me, even when you tried to hide it from yourself. My beloved child, you do not need to carry this alone anymore. You do not need to wonder if your pain matters. You do not need to question whether your tears were seen. I am here with you now, just as I have been with you then. And I am not distant from your struggle. I am present in it, ready to bring comfort, ready to bring peace, ready to remind you that you are deeply known and deeply loved. Stay with me. Let your heart rest in this truth. You have never cried alone. You have never struggled unseen. And you have never been beyond my reach. My beloved child, tonight is different, and I want you to feel that truth settle gently into your spirit. This is not just another night that will pass and blur into the next. This is not another moment lost in routine or swallowed by exhaustion. Tonight stands apart because something has shifted in the unseen, and you are standing at the edge of it. I am speaking now because the timing is right, not just around you, but within you. Your heart has reached a place where it can no longer be carried forward by habit alone. It needs truth, alignment, and rest, and those things are meeting you here. You may not have noticed the shift at first. It did not arrive with noise or spectacle. It came quietly, like a change in the air that you feel before you can explain it. You sensed it as restlessness, as a deeper weariness, as a question that would not leave you alone. You sensed it as a longing that grew stronger instead of fading. That was not confusion. That was preparation. That with your spirit recognizing that something old was ending and something new was drawing near. Tonight is different because you are different than you were before. You have walked through seasons that stretched you, tumbled you, and stripped away illusions you once depended on. You have learned what does not sustain you. You have learned what drains you. You have learned what cannot carry the weight of your heart. Even when you felt unsure, even when you felt lost, those lessons were shaping you. They were making space inside you for what I am ready to give. There is a divine alignment taking place that you cannot see with your eyes. Things are moving into place beyond your awareness. Hearts are shifting. Circumstances are adjusting. Paths are being cleared. I have been arranging details quietly, patiently, faithfully. And tonight marks a point where those unseen movements are ready to meet your awareness. That is why I am speaking now. That is why this message reached you at this exact moment, and not another. This is not random. I do not speak by accident. I do not interrupt without purpose. I know the weight of your confusion. I know how tired you have become from carrying questions without answers. If this moment were delayed further, that weariness would deepen. Confusion left unaddressed becomes discouragement. Waiting without reassurance becomes heaviness. I am intervening now because I do not want your heart to harden under the weight of uncertainty. Tonight is different because heaven has marked it. There are times when patience builds strength, and there are times when patience without direction begins to drain life. You have reached the boundary between those two. Continuing in silence would not refine you anymore. It would only exhaust you. So I am speaking now, not to rush you, but to rescue you from unnecessary weariness. Comment, Father, you are my song in the night if he's been your comforter. And share this video.